Starting off with level 1, you get 200 XP and 4 spin tickets. Meanwhile, at level 2, you get 250 coins and 3 Necromancer's Tomb consumables in the Premium Battle Pass. Now, I'm going to go over the Battle Pass's consumables later on in a separate video because there are some returning consumables also that I will also cover in that video, because we also get, at level 3, the Unholy Storm consumable, 5 of those, and on the premium side of things, we get 3 high-grade crates. At level 4, you get 250 XP and a premium crate, whereas at level 5, this is the first time, I think, for a while, we've had a double combo of skins, and at level 5, it's a pretty good one. Ghost Demoman skin and Null Shotgunner skin. Now, initially, when released, these skins actually didn't have, or some of these skins that I'm going to talk about, did not have any sounds, but the developers have since added it. So I think I'll cover this accurately in this video, especially with the sound in reference to those, so that's cool. So, the Ghost Shotgunner, it looks like this, and is probably quite similar to the other Ghost skins that we've had in Tower Defense Simulator in the past, in that it is neon blue with some translucency, but it has a face, interestingly enough, and it has a grenade of sorts that looks like that, and a corrupted leg, so it looks more like a error skin, or the banned skin. If we were to spawn in an enemy, and then the demo man were to shoot at it, okay, so it's normal sounds, and the animation is broken. Okay, that's cool. At least it works. That's all I'm saying. So then, at level 1, it gets a bigger fist. Very cool. At level 2, it gets a different grenade that looks more like a style grenade, which in-style grenade, because that's the upgrade for the Demo Man, regular Demo Man. At level 3, it gets a China Lake. And at level 4, it gets a mask. Now, I'm not sure, is the stuff that the Demo Man shoots out, is it unique by any chance? I don't think so. Yeah, it's not unique. It doesn't have any animations, so yeah, currently broken skin. Hopefully the developers fix that. Meanwhile, as for the Null Shotgunner, well, it falls into the... It's not anchored. And it's broken. So, you know, you can see it clearly target this enemy because, you know, you've got the red outline there. But clearly, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't even do any damage to it, I don't think. No. So... Can I even review this? Even if I were to go 0.01 timescale, it doesn't really matter because it's based on where the model is itself. So, like, oh wait, I can't even place down on 0.0 timescale, and yeah, it still falls down at the same rate. So I can't even review it. So all I can review, right, is the base model, and this is what the base model looks like. Cool, I guess. It's like a null. It's like from the null zone, but it's broken. Very cool, developers. The first 2 skins that you have in your Battle Pass, and it's broken. Great advertisement, just saying. Meanwhile, at level 6, on the regular side of things, you get 300 coins. And then on the premium side of things, you get something exclusive, the Null Necromancer Charm. Now, you can very clearly see which is part of the Null and Void series. They're the purple ones. They don't have any descriptions, but that's not anything new. Some of the other stuff don't have descriptions, such as the Cool Duck and the Nerd Duck charms. And obviously, the only way to actually get these charms is to actually go into an intermission lobby. And because it's not part of the event, you don't really get to use that as part of I mean, obviously, because why would an event have an intermission lobby? Although, with the way that the elevators have now made a comeback to Tower Defense Simulator, I'm starting to think that this intermission lobby is becoming more and more redundant. But this is what the Null Necromancer looks like, and it's pretty cool, I must say. Cool sound effects and cool visual effects. Meanwhile, as for level 7, there are actually 2 things that are exclusive here. So firstly, you have the Worried Scout sticker, which is in reference to the nightmare that the Scout does have in the cutscene for Night 1. Well, I guess it's when it wakes up. It's like a scanning sound effect, which is interesting. But then you also get a name tag, namely the green slime name tag, which is interesting because there is no slime thing in Tower Defense Simulator's Night 1, at least right now. There's a load more references to slimes in the stuff that you get here, but as far as I can tell, there is no slime yet, so I wonder if that's going to be a leak for later on. So this is what the green slime name tag looks like. It doesn't have any descriptions, and I need to enable my name tag to actually see it. But this is what it looks like. It's, I guess, in the same visual effect as, I think, melting ice cream, which just green. After that, you get 2 spin tickets, and on the premium side of things, a molten monster. Interesting that the molten monster is being kept around as a permanent consumable, whereas previously it was a Christmas consumable. Whereas at level 9, there are 2 emotes, namely the Dracula Dance emote and the Living Statue emote. Now, I actually do have to find this, like, whoever makes this, who makes this? Outer Bears, right, can you organize this by alphabetical order? But yeah, Dracula Dance. Now, it may just be me, right? Yeah, okay, emote sounds on. This is not the Macarena, this is Dracula, right? I don't think this is Dracula, but fair enough. And then after that, we get the Living Statue emote. So, it's this. It's a living statue, but you can move around. I feel like that defeats the purpose of this. You should just, like, stop yourself. But I think this is the first time your character actually changes textures into this stone-like texture. And after that, on level 10, you get a duality of skins as well. You get the Null Soldier skin and the Plague Medic skin. Now this kind of looks weird. The nose is not attached to the face, which I guess is part of the aesthetic. It's weird. And it gives me the heebie-jeebies, I can't lie. But then you also get the Plague Medic, and the Plague Medic looks pretty alright. It looks like an average event skin for the medic. Right, so the Null Soldier, it looks like this. Ignore the sound effect, the placement sound effect, that's because it's golden. Yeah, the nose is kind of disconcerting, and I do get massive heebie-jeebie vibes for it, but I guess it's a cool-ish retexture of the default, and then you get some stuff around its arms at level 1. At level 2, you get stuff around its feet. At level 3, it's bigger stuff around its feet. And at level 4, you get the beret and stuff with stuff poking out of its hat and a different rifle. I wonder, though, does it have a different sound effect? No, it doesn't. Okay. Meanwhile, as for the Plague Medic, it looks like this at level 0. Looks like this at level 1, so it gets some gloves. At level 2, it gets something around its coat or cloak, whatever it is. At level 3, it gets a Plague Doctor mask. At level 4, it gets a brim around its hat. And at level 5, it gets a wand of sorts. That kind of looks like Alter Ego's, like something from Alter Ego. Now, what are the effects like? Okay, so it's green. Does it ever change colour? Okay, no, it doesn't change colour. And I wonder, is the effect to charge up? I think it's just borrowed from the default medic. So from what we see so far, it looks like these skins, while they may look cool, so props to the artist, it looks like there was not really that much time coded to make these skins look, or well, their animations to look that unique. Meanwhile, at level 11, you get 300 XP on the regular side of things, while on the premium side of things, you get the Spirits name tag. Is it me, or have they changed the icons, or well, the icon-ish for your preview, so that it's more pixelated, so I guess it loads in quicker? So anyways, Spirits, this is what it looks like. Kind of cool, I guess. It looks like a Japanese manga / anime, so fair enough. It's also got ghosts. Very cool. Meanwhile, at level 12, it's actually, on both sides of things, just regular stuff. So 350 coins and 4 timescale tickets, alright? So at level 13, you actually get something exclusive on the regular side of things. On the premium side of things, you only get 2 nukes. But on the regular side of things, you get the Headless emote. Obviously, in reference to the Headless Horseman, which always goes on sale, I believe, around October time in the Roblox catalog, the Headless Horseman. And yeah, this is what it looks like. I wonder if it changes its hitbox in any way because of this. I think, actually, yeah, the hitbox is in front of where your head is, so that's cool. So one must wonder if there are like glitches available with this. I would think so. Meanwhile, at level 14, on the regular side of things, you get the Blood Moon name tag, and on the premium side of things, you get the Null Engineer charm. So the Blood Moon name tag looks like this. Kind of looks standard. I think it feels a bit borrowed from... Is there a name tag that has an orange moon? Because I feel like there is, and I've just forgotten about it. It's a red to black gradient, but it doesn't really look that unique compared to other name tags we've had in Tower Defense Simulator. And this is what the Null Engineer looks like when it's placed down. It's very similar to the Null Necromancer charm in its sound effects and visual effects. Meanwhile, at level 15, you get the Undead Militant skin and the Hallowpunk Pyromancer skin. Not a skin for the Hallowpunk Tower. I don't think the developers can actually place a event skin in the Battle Pass because it would actually require you to have an event tower, which not everyone would have because you need to buy it with ROBUX nowadays, because unless you were there at the time, obviously. But to get it from the Battle Pass, yeah, you would require the players to buy it with Robux, which isn't that good. But on the premium side of things, maybe it could be allowed. And you'll notice that the Halopunk Pyromancer is a pretty unique skin. All the others have it like this, apart from maybe the Pool Party Pyromancer, but it still holds it very similarly. But this is just completely different. One-handed Pyromancer, yeah? Okay, I see you. So, the Undead Militant skin. I'd also have to assume that the skin itself, it doesn't have any unique sound effects, but we'll test it out. So, a skull at level 0 looks like this. At level 1, it gets goggles. At level 2, it gets a backpack. At level 3, it gets a redesign, including a very awkward hand that looks a little bit like Arthro. And at level 4, it gets a mask. Why does it remind me a little bit of the Grand Theft Militant skin, which gets a random horse mask at level 4? But the question is, does it have any unique sound effects? And the answer is no, it doesn't. But the Pyromancer, does that have any unique sound effects? No, but it has unique visual effects, so that at least that is something. And it doesn't seem that the visual effects actually change, but very cool visual effects, must say. And I do like its cape at the back end of things. It looks animated because of its different frame rates, which is the first time I think that a different frame rate has been used for a skin that's not a plushie skin, which is very cool. But at level 0, this is what it looks like. At level 1, it gets some things around its legs. At level 2, it gets some designs on its arms and chest plate. At level 3, I don't think anything has changed. At level 4, I can't tell if anything's changed. But at level 5, certainly something has changed, including its cape, which is pretty cool. Meanwhile, at level 16, you get 325 XP in the regular Battle Pass, and then 5 Unholy Swarms on the Premium Battle Pass. At level 17, you get another regular thing. In fact, you get 3 regular things in a row on the regular side of things, 400 coins, and on the Premium side of things, you get the Rifted Away emote, which from the preview looks very interesting. It looks like you are a surfboard of sorts. So, yes. Oh, okay, no, you're grabbing onto something before being, while there's a portal behind you, a prop that, it appears that you're being sucked into it. You can't move with this, you can't jump around, there's no sound effects from what I can hear. I don't know if the sound effects is broken. It must be, really. Meanwhile, at level 18, it's, I want to say regular stuff because the Necromancer's Tomb consumable, 6 of those, interestingly. That's not necessarily a regular item. The spin tickets definitely are, but this not really. Meanwhile, at level 19, for the regular side of things, you get the Null Scout charm, so I expect it to be the same sound effects and visual effects as the other charms. But, interestingly, and kind of cool on the premium side of things, a job application sticker. So, I don't know if this is in reference to, like, Tower Defense Simulator's developer hirings recently for Alter Ego. It could also be a reference to Alter Ego, because people being hired to do that. But, job application. Yeah, it may surprise you that I sort of have a job. Being a student is a job, and being a postgraduate researcher is also kind of a job. You do work full-time. So, yeah, it may surprise you that this does not scare me, because I have a job already. After this, you get the Ghost Rocketeer skin, which looks very cool on the preview. And then after that, the Vampire Hunter Cowboy skin, which also looks pretty cool. So, for some reason, it's just the first 2 animations for the first 2 towers that you get in the Battle Pass are broken, but everything else seems to have pretty unique animations, aside from the Militant. Also, they do have rarities, but again, the event skins seem to have rarities. I don't know why they don't have an event rarity, because unless the developers plan these to be like resold in a crate, which I don't foresee happening for the Backlash, there's no reason for them to have a rarity, unless skin trading is going to be added, which it may, don't get me wrong, but it's a long way off if it were to be added. So, for the Rocketeer, this is what it looks like. Oh, and it has a cool trail. This is the best trail effect. It's really cool. And I think when it's walking with you as a pet, it also leaves this trail effect, which is pretty cool. I think it's the effect that comes out of the rocket itself. So, if we were to spawn in an enemy, the Actor 3... yeah, it has that trail effect, which is pretty cool, and it does have a unique loading animation. Unfortunately, it doesn't have a rocket of sorts, which is a shame, because you can clearly see there is a head that goes from the hand into the cannon, but it might just be part of the visual effect, which is pretty cool. Then it gets some buffed up rocket at level 1. At level 2, it gets some visual effects on its helmet. At level 3, it gets a beard and a... ooh, that's interesting. A coffin for its holder. And at level 5, it gets that. And that is pretty cool. This must be one of my favorite skins. Okay, so it looks like they're ghouls of sorts. It's just weird that they don't have like a explosion effect or like an effect where they are inside of the rocket. But the fact that they go inside the coffin, that is a pretty cool effect. Meanwhile, as for the Vampire Hunter Cowboy skin, it looks like that. And it doesn't have any animations. Oh, of course it doesn't. Very cool. Does it even have a spin animation? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It's broken. Wait, it doesn't spin. What? Oh god. Right. Okay. That's disconcerting. Okay, so you have a cowboy skin that is completely... Yeah, they rushed some of the skins, clearly. So you got some skins, like the Rocketeer, pretty good. Then you got some skins, like the Cowboy, pretty broken. But I guess we'll just go over the visual effects. So this is what it looks like at level 0. Level 1, gloves. Level 2, a completely different outfit, which would look cool. At level 3, it gets a hat. And at level 4, it looks like that. And at level 5, it gets a Vampire IRM54. Probably a reference to something that I don't know. And is that in Calibri? I don't know. Oh, hang on. I just heard like a visual. It changed to 12 now. Okay, interesting. So when it stops shooting, I guess there is a effect for that. But when it is shooting, there is no effect and there is no spin. So you can hear it. But there's no animation. It's broken. I'll probably have to do a re-review of this when the skins are actually up and working. But at level 21, we're over halfway now, 350 XP and 500 coins. Right, okay. Then 500 coins and then 4 spin tickets. That dud levels, level 21 and level 22. But at level 23, we get a sticker, the Werewolf Commander sticker, furry, and at we also get the nuke, 2 nukes at the premium side of things. So the sticker, does it have any any sound effects that are unique? Yes, it does. Sounds like a wolf, I guess. Then you get the slime emote, which is very cool, and then the Marcellus charm. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I'm probably not. So the slime emote looks similar to like the iceberg emotes. The only thing is, yes. So it looks like you're consumed by the slime and you can't move around, which is very similar to the frozen emotes, and you're just stuck there. It even looks like you're just like resting there. Huh. It's a long animation, I must say then. A pretty long and unique animation. Shame you can't bounce around in that though. So next we have the Marcello, or Marcellus charm. I don't actually know what it's from. I could probably search it up. I don't know. A little worried. I don't think I got that right. Okay, let me not dive into that because I don't understand. But let's see. Same visual effects as the other charms, and it looks like that. By the way, it's red because my chat tag, which is algorithmically decided by Roblox, is also red. So if I type stuff in, yeah, my name is red. Meanwhile, at level 25, you get the Null Crook Boss skin, which looks like the default Crook Boss, but purplified. But interestingly, the Graveyard Mercenary base skin. Okay, so they use the Rifleman, I assume, at this level, which looks pretty cool. And then that is, I assume, the Grenadier. I think they fixed the issue where the Grenadier just stared at people. So, the Null Crook Boss, it looks like this. It doesn't have a face, and it has purple stuff around it. At level 1, it gets actually completely purplified. At level 2, it gets glasses. Level 3, it gets the Thompson and then a backpack full of money, which is very similar to the default Crook Boss skin. And at level 5, it gets a complete... Ooh, that looks like an octopus, I can't lie. And then the units look like this. So they look like regular goons, except they have their head bent, and they are obviously purple. This is what the Tommy Goon looks like. Very similar in their fashion to their daddy, and the fact that their head is bent. And that's what the other Thompson Goon looks like. So, yeah, pretty standard Crook Boss skin. I'm not sure why this gets rave reviews, given that this is just a reskin of the default skin, but fair enough, I guess, for uniqueness. As for the Graveyard Mercenary base, I feel like it's copying from the Graveyard Farm a little bit. This is what the Rifleman looks like. This is what the base looks like itself at level 0, level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5, and level 6. So, not many changes when it comes to the merch base, unlike some other skins. So you've seen the Rifleman before, and I assume the Grenadier we've also seen before, at least from this mercenary base, because they won the preview in the lobby. Yeah, actually no, that's slightly different. It's not got the red outline, it's got a purple outline, and then that's the Rifleman, which is upgraded from what it is at level 1. Oh no, it is red, so the default one on the preview is correct. And yeah, you can see its upgraded version right beside it, so that's pretty cool. And then after that, you get the Riot's Guard, and it looks like this, which looks like a Viking warrior of sorts. At level 5, you get the Field Medic. Oh, that's interesting gliders, interesting, which looks like this, and they have a same beam as the Rocketeer skin from the Battlepass does. Ooh, and the shield is purple. That's very cool. I like the effect. It goes from blue to a purple shield. That's very cool. But then at level 5, this is what the Grenadier, the Rifleman, and the Riot's Guard looks like. They are all quite purple, not because of the shield. And then for the Field Medics, this is what they look like. So I'd say pretty similar, but a more substantial gun. Meanwhile, at level 26, you get 375 XP on the regular side of things, and the Null Dimension tag, it gets cut off in the premium side of this. Is what the Null Dimension looks like, so black smoke and some purple triangles. After that, you get 650 coins and 4 timescale tickets on level 27, and on level 28 you get 6 Necromancer Tomb consumables on the regular side of things, and on the premium side of things, the Necromancer Tomb emote. And for some reason, the preview is infinitely loading, so it makes me wonder, does it actually exist in Tower Defense Simulator, or is it broken? Let's see. QRST, no, it'll be before that, so OPQR, so it should be here between the L's and the M's, and it's not here. Oh, very interesting preview for the living statue. But yes, it's not here. Necromancer Tomb emote, not here. So if you get level 28, you're getting scammed out of emotes. That's pretty poor. After that, you get the Solar Eclipse tag on the regular side of things, and Poor Titus sticker on the premium side of things. So the Solar Eclipse, it looks like that. Okay, pretty cool. Very cool. And then the Sad Titus sticker. Let's see. Does it have Enthrallus as a voice line? No big surprise. Oh, okay, yeah, it does. I don't know what it's saying, but fair enough. No big surprise. Yeah, from what I can hear, it says, I dead, no big surprise. Fair enough. After that, at level 30, you get the Cursed Minigunner skin and the Werewolf Brawler skin. So, for the minigunner skin, it looks like this, a pretty substantial minigunner, well, minigunner itself, I might say, but does it have any unique sound effects, or is it like any of the other skins that have been recently added where it doesn't have any unique sound effects? Oh, it does have a unique sound effect. It has a very quiet shooting effect, although that might just be towers being really set to low for me, because I don't like it, but yeah, it's pretty unique. Okay. It looks like it has a safe as well, which is very interesting. So at level 0, it looks like this. Level 1, it loses its face but gets a cap. Level 3, it looks like that and it shoots from the middle, which is really odd. At level 3, it looks like this. There's a lot of Z fighting. And at level 4, it looks like this. So pretty cool, but some unpolished bits, as you can see. And like the visual effects, they come from the middle of the minigun and not like rotating around the barrel, which is really odd. But after that, she gets the Werewolf Brawler, which, ooh, that's interesting. An interesting visual effect when placed down. First tower to have that. Of course, it's for the Werewolf Brawler skin. Anyways, at level 0, it looks like this. At level 1, it gets something around its ankles. At level 2, it gets a chest plate. Level 3, something on its back, I think, or more substantial back accessories. Level 4, it looks like this. I don't think there's any change. And at level 5, it gets longer arms. Very cool. Does it also have a unique placement thing when it moves? Don't think so. It does have unique sound effects, but that's it, really. It also does look like it jumps like an actual wolf, so I guess that's cool from an anatomical point of view. At level 31, we really get into some fillers, so 400 XP on the regular side of things, level 31 on the premium side of things, a premium crate. No more deluxe crates in battle passes. 800 coins on regular for 32, and the Cultist Runes tag. I better expect some runes on this tag, otherwise I'm going to be very, very disappointed. Also, Cultist, is that not the Children of Exo? Let's see. Okay, so I think it's very similar to, what's that event? The Hexscape event. Not the Hexscape event, sorry. The Roblox Hunter tag, which also has runes as well, but those were blue. Interesting. At level 33, a nuke and high-grade crates. 2 of them, and then 3 of them respectively. At 34, so you're getting 4 in a row of just regular stuff. Level 34, 1 premium crate, okay, on the regular side of things, but then also the Rift Walker charm, which is that figure that comes through that portal at the end of Night 1. That's called a Rift Walker. I'm not going to go into the game, the intermission lobby, just to test this out, because it's going to probably have the same effects as the other stuff that we've seen, but the Rift Walker, that's pretty cool. Meanwhile, at level 35, that's the second to last skins that we get here. You get the Null Farm skin and the Ghost Engineer skin. Yeah, the Ghost Engineer skin kind of looks different because all the others, right, they have like nail guns or whatever it is, a bar gun. I forgot what the name is, but this is just completely different. I want to see what this is about. Okay, so the farm skin, it looks broken. I can't place it. Ugh. Another skin that's broken. Right, okay, I'm going to have to do a follow-up video for the skins because they're just broken. But as for the engineer skin, let's see. Okay, so it places down. So it works. Thank fuck. So let's see. What do the turrets look like? The sentries, sorry, not the turrets. So I'd assume if it was... Oh, okay. It uses its hand and it has it places down a graveyard and then a sentry ghoul comes out of it. That's very cool, I must say. This is what it looks like at level 1, or level 0, sorry. And then at level 1, it looks the same, I think. At level 2, it gets a crown of sorts, which is very cool. That is cool. It places down a grave with its wand, and then a ghoul comes out of it. So this is at level 2. Level 3 is where it gets a new sentry, so we'll go test that out. And that's where it gets this wand, which has a very cool visual effect. Let's see this. Oh, okay, so it's just something with wings. It's going to be very hard to differentiate between sentries because they just look very similar to me, I can't lie. So level 4 looks like this, and I assume this is where it gets a shield. Does it show the shield proportionally? No. Okay, interesting. Level 5, there's no changes, really, I don't think. Yeah, this is at level 6, and there's no real indication of what it looks like with a shield. Maybe the armor, but this is the War Machine sentry. What does the minigunner sentry look like? Okay, so that's interesting. Okay, so the rockets look like that. There's only 2 rockets from it. That's interesting. Is it 2 rockets that come out of it? I don't know. So let's see what the minigunner sentry looks like. Is that even a charge up? Or does it just go straight into shooting? Let's see. It doesn't look like it charges up, which is interesting for a sentry, a minigun sentry. So maybe this skin, it buffs it. I don't know. Maybe we need to spawn in a new enemy to see if there's a charge up. But if there's no charge up time, then that will be certainly interesting because there is no charge up time. So maybe that's a buff for this minigunner skin. What? That's weird. Meanwhile, at level 36, you get 500 XP and 2 multi-monsters. Level 37, 1,000 coins, 5 spin tickets. Level 38, you get the Unholy Fire tag and the OK Walker sticker. So the OK Walker sticker, let's go for that one first. Is that like OK Boomer? Okay. No, so it just says OK. Interesting. I wonder who voiced that. And then you get the Unholy Fire name tag. Again, no description. Interesting. It seems like a different frame rate to the other ones that's changed your frame rates. It is a different frame rate from the default, but that's interesting. Meanwhile, at level 39, you get the Free Spirit emote on the premium side of things, and then on the regular side of things, the Kronos charm. Kronos? Below natural? Is that a reference to something? Me and him know something, I guess. So, the Free Spirit emotes. You die, okay, and a spirit comes out of you. Ooh, the spirit moves and the body just stays there. That's cool. However, can I teleport this with my body just laying there on the floor? That is a very unique emote. You know what? I'll give the developers props. The emotes for this event have been pretty cool. There's no sound. It does! Is the body still there? That's so cool. Yes, the body's still... Oh, that is pretty cool. That is sick. That is sick. But I wonder, right? Once if you cancel out of the emote. Oh, you teleport back. Brilliant. Favorite emote so far. So, does the Kronos charm have anything to it? No. Oh, that's the other Guardian of the Meta, I think. Cool. I think it does have a unique sound effect. Meanwhile, on the final level, so there's a Werewolf Commander skin as well. Okay, that's very cool, I must say. So the Pursuit gets another skin. That's interesting, to say that the preview's a bit fucked, though. Fair enough. And the Werewolf Commander looks kind of different compared to all of the other Commander skins. The other Commander skins, they stand on a pedestal, whereas this one is standing on its own 2 feet. So for the Commander skin, it looks like that. It has a blood moon when you place it down. Very cool. At level 1, it gets that. At level 2, it gets that. Oh, is that a wand? Is that a Harry Potter wand? No, it's a radio, but it looked like a wand because the radio is inside of its hands. And then as for its call to arms ability, kill them, I think that's what it said. Okay. At level 3, it gets that, some white stuff, very cool, bones, but yes, the white stuff's called bones. And at level 4, it gets blood eyes. That's very cool. And a meat bone. Okay. That's very interesting. What is a... Kill them again. Okay. The APCs, meanwhile, they look like this. So that's the gunner APC, and then the missile APC looks like that. I wonder. So the rockets, they have a unique, I guess, trail effect, but the gunner APCs, they don't have a unique gunning effect. And then any changes to the voice lines, or is it the same voice line? It says something in growling. The only problem is I don't speak growl, so someone has to translate that for me. I can't lie. I mean, as for the Dragon Pursuit skin, this is sick. This is a very, very cool skin. Ooh, that's fire and everything. That's sick. Let's see. Can we move it here? And then it just say, let's see, attack this actor. What does it look like? Yeah, that's cool. At level 1, it gets something. The arm is very far off. Level 2, it gets some armor there. Level 3, the fire effect. So I guess those are the rockets. Go for the bottom path. Purple, very cool. Level 5, purple, even more purple. That's pretty sick. So in comparison to the top path, it gets more grey and green, and then it gets some horns. So the Pursuit skin, definitely one of my... Ooh, is it the favourite? Because the Rocketeer, in terms of keeping to the tradition of the tower itself, the Rocketeer is pretty cool and very unique. But as for badass skin, yeah, the Pursuit skin, very cool, I must say.